Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year. It is 2026. I have no idea where 2025 went. It was a blip. Kind of happy to see it go because we had a hell of a year. But we have coffee and we have Panda. So um
Do I need to go get the bag?
no. We're
No?
doing
Okay.
Lavazza this morning. It
Okay.
was a Christmas gift from our daughter, and so we've had a really good Christmas. We hope everybody else had a really good Christmas too. Um, it is 12-week year for me, um, and for him by way of me because I do all the scheduling and everything usually. Um, but we've got some goals and some things that we want to kind of balance out this year, like reading and writing, and I'm doing self-study, education, travel, play, work hours, that kind of thing, self-care. I did not hold proper space for myself last year. I was kind of busy holding space for everybody else, and mostly for work stuff, and got overwhelmed, shut down halfway through the year, got off 12-week year. We are not doing that this year. Um, the plan is buffer time, obviously, because I'm ADD and I have to have a little bit of buffer in there. But the theme for this year is under promise, over deliver, reset every day. So it's something that I'm consciously, intentionally doing every morning, is to kind of reset, realign, um, and just take things one day at a time. Um, get more on a schedule with, because we were doing like just laundry whenever it needed done, figure out what we were in the mood to eat. We weren't meal planning. Now we've got like a set idea of, what day we're going to do laundry. We're going to meal plan so that we're very much an ingredient household. So if we decide not to do something, we can always switch it up and pick another recipe, and just be more intentional on our day to day. I did, if you want to watch it, there is, and I'll link it below after the episode, is I did 2 workshops on Saturday. And sorry, I'm tired. We stayed up for midnight and then started watching a movie, and about 1:45 I was like, I'm done. I haven't stayed up past midnight in a while and I'm tired. Screw it, we're going to bed. um but yeah, so the intention is there to be more present in our daily lives. And I know he and I both have goals with work this year and kind of changing things up and publishing books, and I'm working on one with him, and we're making time to actually write, which it'll be tomorrow is our first writing session together, planning session kind of thing, for a world building book based on his class and based on stuff I have. Um, so Tuesdays and Fridays, we're going to do 2 hours, and we're either going to do it at home or we're going to do it at Starbucks or the local cafe, because we got a gift certificate for Starbucks for Christmas. Um, so, but what do you have any specific goals on writing or anything?
Not really.
Not really. So, like I said, I'm the one that usually does the schedule. So, but want to balance out time for play. I want to make art not just on live stream. I've had to I've had so many things going on this past year that the only time that was kind of holy ground was when I was live streaming. And I want to get more into doing my traditional art. I actually there's a thing with Yule that you can set 13 intentions for the year. And you're supposed to start on solstice and you burn one each night or put it in water or bury it in the earth, whatever is available to you. I did something different, and you're supposed to go through all 12, and then the 13th, whatever's left over, because you fold them up, you're not supposed to see what they are. But the intention is set, the intention is there. I actually have a list of what they are. But the one that's the 13th that you look at is actually the one you're supposed to focus on for the year. So mine was the magazine. So we've got some restructuring to do. We did put it on hold, but we're all still kind of working on it. And it's going to go up on Kickstarter. We've removed the dates. So there's no dated element to it now. It's when they're done, they go out. And so it might be every 2 months, every 3 months, might be once a month, might be more than one in a month, depending, because we've actually been working ahead on those. We have them planned out through 2028. I have a really good crew, Val included, and it's been a lot of fun, and it's been a big opportunity for other people, which is what I've wanted to do, is provide that opportunity. So Kickstarter will do the printed version of Learn first, and then the extended goals are going to be multiple issues. So that way I can pay my people, because that's the reason I put it on hold. Is I had a client lose their job and we had to shift the contract to later this year. And so I lost, the funding to be able to pay people. So just to be transparent, but we're excited, and we've restructured some things and going forward. So we're going to be doing that. And I'm sticking to more strict work hours, but they're also fewer hours, like 10 to 12, and then 12 to 2 is me working on our apartment, because we do want to move and there's a lot of things I need to purge still. And then 2 to 4, because your cognitive load for work is 2 hours. So playing on that, I'm going to see how that works for me. That'll be Monday through Friday. I am not scheduling work on Saturday and Sunday. If I'm on a deadline or on a book deadline or need to update something, then Saturday maybe, but Sunday is sacred. Sunday is, I am spending time with my family. I am not doing anything. I am resting. Might do laundry, but it's basically, just be a homebody or spend time with friends or something that recharges me. And that way, the more functional I am, the more functional we are, the more functional, that kind of thing. So the teaching online thing is going to change for both of us, I think. It's through the platform we were using. They've started using AI. They've started doing some other things that I don't agree with. And the market there is kind of saturated. Plus, they take 30%. So if we can schedule adult classes on Zoom, or if I can, do speaking engagements or teach at shows or conventions and that kind of thing. I don't necessarily want to work on an online course for people, but I might run workshops. I did 2 workshops on Twitch this past Saturday, so go watch those. I'll link them below. One is on the 12-week year on how I do it, and one is on coming up with your mantra or your theme for the new year and making a sigil for it. So, and that's kind of a thing I want to do for book signing for the sigil book. So, but And then gaming. We've got more time for gaming, for decompression. We got Val and PAX Day briefly last night, but his computer's a bit laggy, so. But
which I'm still looking at what the issue is with that, because it's not always your graphics, apparently. I'm looking into that because sometimes it's other settings, sometimes it's the communication between graphics and CPU. There's that. The reason your screen goes like this, is because your graphics system is having to communicate with the CPU. You know this, but I'm just throwing it out there. The whole sole issue isn't always necessarily your drivers or your graphics.
You've got an integrated graphics card.
Yes,
too.
I have an integrated
graphics card,
and it's
kind of a pain in the butt.
A fact that with my old HP system, when we put a new power supply and a new graphics card, a devoted graphics card in that computer, I was able to play infinitely more higher scale games than what I could prior, because the system was just better after that.
We need to expand storage on there too.
Well,
I've got an external drive, but I don't know how your computer would run that.
I don't know.
So, but it's through Steam, so it's not as much.
PAX is still on my computer, and I've got 24 gig of space free, which I thought it would take up a lot more space than that.
I know my system slows down after a certain percentage is used on storage. So I get a red warning anything under 100 gig, because I've got a terabyte hard drive. So it'll start turning red when I've got 100 or 90 left. So I know mine, I've got to go through and purge stuff digitally too. And I'm looking at what the optimal file system, naming kind of thing, whether it's better to have things named a certain way versus having things in folders. And, I have a tech background, but it's with software, not necessarily hardware, although I've learned some hardware things over the years. But yeah, so education for us too is a thing. I'm actually pulled this out the other day. I picked this up at a thrift store, and I am going to go through self-study and start doing all of the, maybe not all of them, but some of my favorite plants, and going through and doing art studies of stuff. Eventually I would like to actually, go out, take photographs. That's not going to be during winter. So I'm thinking in the spring of going out and taking samples or taking photos. Or I have a friend of mine that does botanical art, and that's what she does, is she has she'll go around the weeds in her yard, or go around, pull flowers or whatever, and then sit and do watercolor. Her artwork's gorgeous. Her name is Laura Paulette. She's local. I'll have to post about her. Her sister actually owns Native Bagel, which becomes Nightjar at night. Does really good cocktails and smash burgers. She's actually nationally known with Native Bagel. So that's one of our little gems here that we love to hang out in. Really good food.
Had numerous articles written about it.
It's
fantastic.
She's been picked up by a lot of news media. But when we first moved here, she had just finished the coffee cart at
she was
the
on a
farmer's
coffee
market.
cart that was pulled behind her truck. It was great.
And she started doing bagels, and then that became our Saturday routine for a while, where we would go to the farmer's market and have breakfast. We would grab coffee and bagels and hang out. And they had a pastry chef there for a while too, but he sadly revocationalized and is doing IT stuff now. He got out of doing the bakery. But we have a lot of really good, tasty food around here. And that's one of the things that we want to do, is travel more, day trips, specifically and go around, and we've got several cities that are within a couple of hours of us that have really good cafes where we can just chill out. I can maybe take my laptop and work a little bit, but not likely. Um, depending. Travel is travel. But that could be our Sundays, or a day during the week. I try to space things out when I schedule things as far as meetings and that kind of thing. But it's, um, I don't know that I'd like for us to do one big trip this year. At least go out to Arizona and see,
Yeah.
because they've got that new cabin.
Yeah, that's up in Pine Top, and from where they
Pine Top,
live,
and I really want to go.
From where their regular house is, it's like three to 4 hours.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was a senior in high school, I was there visiting for the summertime. I was 18, and that's where we went camping.
Mm-hmm.
They had the cabins up there, and they were right on the lake. That's where me and Uncle Carrie and Carrie got to fish.
Mm-hmm.
Right there on the lake. That they had, that lake's got a bunch of rainbow trout and German brown, and whatever we caught out of the lake, Aunt Josephine cooked, and we had it for dinner that night. It was great.
It sounds good.
Yeah,
I like fishing.
Yeah. So it's a really pretty area. It's kind of, there's like some, rocky hills kind of nestled around it, and then there's the lake, and then the cabins. At least that's the way it used to be back when I was, high school age. I don't know how much it's been built up, if at all, but it'd be nice to see it again, actually. Yeah. But it's a long drive from where they live. It's like 4 hours, I think, 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah, I think that's where they're at right now with the kids and
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Spent New Year's there. But, just do some traveling. I still want to get us to Europe. I really want to go to Europe. I know Val really wants to go to Rome. Both of us are really wanting to go to Sweden because we have friends there.
I would rather go where we know somebody who lives there.
Yeah.
Honestly, because at least that way, if the bulk of our time is spent with them going around to places that they'd like to show us, I'd be more keen on that, especially because of what I hear about having to walk everywhere around parts of Italy, and all the roads being very narrow, and in other parts of Europe, where you have like cobblestone roads and things like that, that would be probably harder for you to walk.
Yeah.
And I know I'm,
well, that's the big thing, is the cobblestones. With me walking with a cane, I'd have to get a different cane, because they have canes that have like a seat on it that you can sit, on, that I would probably have to get. But not so much that we're getting older, but it's my knee never healed right, so I am still walking with a cane. And just a lot of those places, stairs, or lots of, just lots of walking for tours and everything. And I do want to see Italy, but it would definitely have to be our pace versus being with a tour. First of all, I don't want to drag everybody else back from being able to see the things that they want to see, because they're having to wait on me, him especially. But if we go at our own pace, I don't like having every moment of the day scheduled. I am not that person. Even when I was younger, I want to take my time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to sketch. I want to take photos of odd stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, I'll be stopping every 2 seconds with a camera with whatever. I'm sorry. That's just how it's going to be.
You do that here.
Oh yeah. He'll be like, oh gosh, she's taking a photo of a leaf. There's a rock on the ground. I do that to him all the time. But but I have really cool memories, and I have things I can sketch, and that's a big thing is being able to um, sit and sketch and have that photo reference, and it's my photo reference, and it's not something I have to try and find online. But I'm big into art and architecture. He's into art and history. I'm into history,
Church iconography.
and yeah, I mean, just I would just really like to take my time and photograph what I want, eat where I want to, and gelato. You have to do gelato when you're in Italy. Um, but I mean, just go around to different places. I'm big on doing the trains versus renting a car. Um, and the stuff in Sweden, I know my girlfriend Sandra has a ton of different places, cafes, fika, do our coffee thing.
The
gaming.
The draw of at least some of the bigger areas in Sweden compared to some place like Italy or maybe Germany is, well, that too. But what I'm thinking is it's a little more metro in places like Stockholm, where it's a little more like just going into the city compared to I'm in this place that's 1,000 years old and the roads are hard for me to walk up and down.
Yeah.
Or there's so many stairs and it's so narrow that it's hard for me to get around.
Yeah. Japan is another one.
Yeah.
Kyoto, especially, and some of the smaller
Copenhagen would be that
provinces.
Would be a
Copenhagen,
very much a major city.
Yeah.
Feel.
Yeah.
The civic planning that went into some of the Scandinavian countries feels like it's a lot more modern than and you find that in places around Germany too. Places like Berlin today, for example, or Munich feel very, modern despite how ancient they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know my mom has put in for us doing St. Augustine next year for Christmas, which is Florida. St. Augustine is where we actually did our honeymoon and all our anniversaries and everything while we were down there. We were only an hour and a half away, and it has a very little Europe feel to it. But I'd love to go back down there and go to our old haunts, see if they're even still there. Because COVID, I know a lot of places shut down, but I think our favorite restaurants and that are still there. I know the bed and breakfast we used to stay in, the Augustin Inn, is still there.
I'd like to try the that British pub.
Yeah, there's an English pub there.
We didn't go to that place the last few times we've been.
Lion and Lamb, I think, or Lion
something like that.
I don't know. I'll have to look. There's a couple of them.
Yeah. But it would
I've heard their shepherd's pie is good.
So. Yeah, it'd be good to try. Well, that or their fish and chips would probably be really good to try too.
We need to go back down to Tennessee and go to Knoxville. There's a place down there called Aubrey's at the Paper Mill. Aubrey's. That has probably the best fish and chips I've ever had in my life. We had a place here called The Pub that was in Lexington that I would happily take over the building. It's this huge black building with this British pub inside. Sadly, they closed, and
they haven't put anything new in either.
Not that I've seen. Yeah.
It's
I'm hoping they open another English pub there. It would be really cool.
It's been dormant for a long time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But Aubrey's is really good, and I grew up with a friend of mine from high school. Him and his brother were. His mother was from England, and she used to make fish and chips that were really good. But Aubrey's actually blows hers out of the water. That's saying a lot. So, but Knoxville's 2 hours from us, so that could be a day trip. And there's also McKay's used bookstore, which kind of reminds me of Chamberlain's in that it's the size of it, but honestly, Chamberlain's is way bigger. Chamblin's is in Jacksonville, Florida, and they are, if you put two Walmarts together, the one big one is what it felt like inside. It was just a maze. And the guy that ran the front counter had an eidetic memory. So you could ask him about something and he'd tell you, go here, go here, go here, third shelf down from the bottom. I mean, just insane memory. But he checked all the books in and everything, so he knew where everything was. But just places like that, libraries, bookstores. London is huge on our list because I have a long list of everything from stationery stores to the Tintin store to, there's witchy shops there. There's like Lost Cauldron, which is kind of a more a Harry Potter style thing, more of a fun witchy than a serious witchy. But there's so many different places in London that I really want to see. And I'm not like touristy. I don't like doing the touristy stuff, but honestly, I would do the Harry Potter tour, even though I am not a fan of Rowling at all.
Well, I mean, that train ride alone between Edinburgh and London is... It's a very similar type of train. If I recall.
The Flying Dutchman is one of the trains, and I think that's the one that they used. But it actually was closed at one point, and then they reopened it. I think they had to do something with the rail or with the train itself. I'm not sure. But I'm a big train girl. So aside from Arizona this year, probably the other thing that we'll end up doing is a writer's train ride to DC and back is what I'm looking at, where we're literally riding on the train, sitting in the dining car, sitting in our seats and just writing and reading the whole trip, and going down to DC or over to DC and back. Do have a friend, a horror author named Sako Toomey, that I will link to her stuff below. But she lives in DC, and that's actually, or near DC, and that's actually something she's been here to visit. We need to go visit her. So we might work that trip in, but the train ride is definitely something I want to do. In November, we'll be doing Train Job again with the Brown Coats, and it will be running the game again. So the game is separate, and you can do that even if you can't join us on the train here in Kentucky. It's a 2.5 hour ride with a dinner train. So it's 4-course dinner. It's really good food. Their chef is just amazing. And then the custom written whodunit by me that starts via snail mail, and I do all the props and all that stuff. So people get a bunch of swag out of it, and we've had people from California, Pennsylvania, Oregon, all over Kentucky, Arkansas. We had somebody actually come from Arkansas. One of my clients came from Arkansas and did the train with us. I was going to say this year, but this past year in November, and had a really good time, and is already planning on coming back for the next one. And I'm hoping his brother is going to be here, but his brother is my Belgian brown coat who is stationed in Brussels right now. So I don't know if he's going to be back stateside anytime soon, but hopefully he'll be able to go with us too this next year, or this year. I got to stop saying next year because it's now. So I actually wrote the date accurately this morning. Hopefully I will remember to do it after that.
It usually takes me 2 or 3 days if I'm actively writing at the beginning of the year. It usually takes me 2 or 3 days to really write consciously whatever the new year is. so that it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I journal every day, or most every day. So hopefully I did it, but I did it once already. So yeah. Reading. Definitely reading more. I've actually got these two going right now that I'm actively reading, not just saying I'm reading. So these two, so fiction and nonfiction. I'm going to try and keep a fiction and a nonfiction going at all times. So this is just honing skills. And this one is a witchy book, and it's in 2019, 1619, and 1942. And there's a connection between all three, but it goes between those three time periods, and is really well done. It's really good. So that's Wayward by Amelia Hart, and The 10-Day Outline by Louis Jorstad. So hopefully I didn't butcher names, but so anything else we want to add that we can think of? I know for Christmas you got minis.
I did, and they're not the kind that are already assembled, so that's a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah.
Those are the kind that, I'll just say it, they're Warhammer, so they're all in pieces. They come on big sprue trees, and I've never done anything like that.
Yeah.
All the way through to assembly and painting and everything else. And I've never owned any before, so it's a bit of a learning curve and a hurdle for me to feel comfortable doing something like that, especially when all the pieces are just kind of laid out there.
Yeah.
And there's kind of an instruction book, but there isn't, because they're modular. You know, if you want to put a sword in this guy's hand instead of an axe or something like that, it lets you do that, that kind of stuff.
And
if you want to decorate the backpack differently from the way it comes, things like that. If you want to put a different head on the guy than the helmet that comes on.
Remind me what kind they are.
Black Templar.
Black Templar.
Black Templar Knight.
So that's been his deep dive lately, is the Black Templars.
Yeah.
And the Battle Nuns.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sisters of Battle.
Yeah, I'm gonna hook him up with my ex-husband, who does minis, does really gorgeous mini work, paint jobs and everything. And he and I got our daughter into it, but I know she doesn't do it as much as she used to. I'm hoping she makes time for it again when she gets a chance, because she got some larger ones. She got a book dragon for Christmas. But I'm gonna hook them up for like a beer and painting night. Or beer and gluing night in this case.
Yeah.
So, and I know we both play Guild Wars 2. I've been in PAX a little more than that, but I need to run some guild stuff with you, and we might actually have another person joining us for Guild Wars 2.
Oh, really?
Hopefully.
That would be nice. Yeah.
So
we have a few people in the guild, but I never see anybody except Wolfish on. I am in that other guild just for chat's sake.
Yeah.
Because when there's nobody to talk to, it's like I have this guild where we have 8 or 10 members, but nobody's ever on.
Yeah.
A
lot of them haven't played in forever.
I'm in VOA because there's like 300 members, and like 100 of them are on at any time.
Yeah.
No matter what time of day.
Yeah.
And that's amazing, just to be able to go, hey, and throw a question out there, ask about.
That's what I like about PAX.
How different things work, or just have, just for the sheer fact of having a knowledge base, that are people that are there, that are part of your group, that are like, this is how you do something. And you don't have to go to random strangers on the general chat and never get an answer.
Yeah.
That alone is just nice, to have an extra guild of a bunch of people that's that big to draw knowledge from.
We were like that at first, when not that big, but we had like 3 or 4 people that would be on a regular basis. And everybody's just gotten, most of these people, it says that they haven't logged in 2 years.
Yeah.
So, but I realized I had not shown you what I did. So I'll post a photo of these on Instagram, but these are the 13 intentions. Is I made them into paper beads. So
See
these are,
see if they'll focus a little better, or hold one up right in front of it.
Yeah,
maybe.
So, but I'll post a photo, and these were a lot of fun to make. I've got the copper paint on them, so these are going to be a necklace, and I'm looking forward to sharing that. But I'm still on Instagram. I do have an account on PixelFed. I'm using Blue Sky, and Substack and Ko-fi are going to be my main ones this year. As much as I love Instagram, I don't like Meta. And yeah, so, and the only reason I'm on Facebook is because I have groups there, so I'm kind of locked in over there for now. But we're gonna let you go for now because we are at just over half an hour, so I want to kind of keep them under 40 minutes. But I will link to everything that we talked about below here shortly after stream, and I will be live streaming art Saturday at noon Eastern Standard. And the art this week might be a giant Hey Lego that I got for Christmas, because I've already had a bunch of people
come watch Lego assembly.
Yeah, so I had a lot of people that are already like, you have to do the Hey. So
he's like maybe this big when he's standing up.
Yeah.
He's tall. The box for him is,
I think it was negative
10 to 12 inches tall.
Yeah. But I had wanted I still want a little Hey for my desk. I just want a little one. And I haven't been able to find a little one. So my ex decided he thought it would be funny to get me the big one. So I absolutely howled when I opened this thing. And it's 566 pieces. So we have a Hey.
600 piece Hey.
Yeah. So he is probably going to be Saturday's
Baba has
stream.
a chicken.
Baba has a chicken. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. So now I have to draw a chicken hut with googly eyes. Yeah. So Baba has a chicken. But anyway. So Issa's gonna laugh when I tell her. But so
you're welcome.
So I will see y'all hopefully at noon Eastern Standard on Twitch. I will link to that and our next podcast. And we're season 3 now. I'm just gonna start season each year. So that's why it's season 3, episode 1 today. So, but love y'all. Stay well, stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, take care of each other, and enjoy your new year. Make a plan, make some time for you. And we will see you next week with more coffee. Bye.
Bye.